I'm wearing my last shirt. Doesn't really smell that bad. My shoulders hurt from sleeping on the kitchen floor. You think you're right, 'cause you're always fucking right. And I think I'm right.
Welcome everybody to yet another goddamn horror podcast. How's that? Was that good?
It was
good
great,
sing.
and I was nodding this time. I was trying not to throw you off by shaking my head.
Oh, you can't throw me off. You can't throw me
I did last time.
Well,
During the
stopped
song,
mid-song
he did.
and
He
you were
fucked you up.
mad.
Yeah, he fucked you up a little bit during the song.
Well, I was just mad, just in general. Like
I
it was,
understand.
like even
That's
if you
fair.
didn't shake your head, I was just already
Listen,
angry.
It's been 2 weeks now since I was outside on my corner that I'm on every single night between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. at any given moment. And some dude walked by me and said, "Hey, what's up, federal agent?"
The fuck?
And then he turned around because I was like, "What?" And he turned and he said, "Yeah, you pull off those shorts real nice." And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" First of all, I have spent decades cultivating a look that screams anti-authority. All right.
You were so not undercover cop
I do
material,
not
like, at all.
understand where it came from, and he has been in my fucking head rent-free ever since.
I mean, I've been meaning to ask you.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was like, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like,
Shut up.
I mean, like, you got a little, I mean, like, you know, what
I don't even want to hear it.
You can't even fucking pull them out. Like, you don't have these things, Graham. Like,
we're gonna need you to do a line of coke right now just to prove
that is so fine, and I am for it.
All right, you know what? It's hot as shit. It's hot as shit in New York, so we don't need to get any more of that. Ryan, do you have anything else?
No.
No?
No, I'm just gonna shut up.
All right, well, you shut the fuck up, and I'm going to introduce our fantastic guest today, somebody who we've been trying to get onto the show for a while. Finally, the cosmos all came together right after seeing her newest film, Serpent Skin. Please welcome to the show, Alice Maio Mackay. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very, very good. Thank you again so much for coming onto the show. Like, we've been fans of your work for like as far back as I can remember. Graham was actually the first one that recommended T blockers.
Yeah.
I saw
Cool.
T blockers and I saw Bad Girl Boogie, both on festival streaming, I think, and I fell in love, like, with just the style and everything about it. And we'll get into the big part that I really love about it, but it's like you seem to have put out. So you're not very old, by the way. I'm not going to ask you your age, but you're pretty young, and you've put out 5 or 6 now.
Banger
7 maybe,
after
just
banger
fucking
after
killer
banger.
punk rock as fuck movies, and it's unreal. And it was such a treat to see. I think it was 3 or 4 all drop on Shudder at once.
Yeah.
A year or so ago. That was so cool.
Yeah, it
and
was
so I
great.
got to tell people to watch these movies. But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you for making these.
Seriously.
Thank you
They're
so
rad.
So, Alice, anybody that doesn't know you, tell them just a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you've done.
much. I make like queer horror, like no budget movies. I made my first feature, So Van, when I was 16, that played at Salem Horror Festival and then got picked up by Shudder. And then I did Bad Girl Boogie, T Blockers is like my most popular film, then Satanic Panic, Carnage for Christmas, and then Serpent Skin is like my latest and kind of had, I guess, like my biggest release. It opened in like 22 cities, I think, in America, and is on VOD now.
That's awesome.
Will you tell all the listeners, because we didn't touch base on this, where you are right now, like what?
Oh yeah. I am in Australia, South Australia right
Cool,
now. Yeah.
cool.
Australia has some fantastic horror that comes out of it
Yeah.
too.
So
Like
we
y'all are very talented over there.
yeah, and we have a big we actually have a big Australian fan base there. So we love having Australian fans. So we used to have a bigger New Zealand fan base, and I try to make like a little battle out of it. But the New Zealand folks have dropped off a little bit. So you can tell your fellow country folks to that they've done well. You know what I mean? That they beat yet again. They beat
They're
New
winning.
Zealand.
They've defeated
They're winning. They're winning. You know what I mean? So we love having Australian people on. How has been making films before we kind of break them down? How has the filmmaking process gone for you there? Like, is it a supportive community? What kind of like are you? Because I mean, clearly, like having like being able to do all this is pretty amazing. So
Thank you. I don't know. I feel like most of my support has been like from like international or just like outside of Australia, which is kind of nice actually. Like I have like a really amazing like cast and crew that is like mostly like Australian and from like all around different parts here. And then we kind of get together, we make like a film, and then I don't know, like every like world premiere has been in like an American or like British festival. So it kind of feels like very like outside the system and just like getting to create without, I guess, any like pressure from, I don't know, any like Australian film organization or just like having to live up to like anything in Australia and just kind of like, I don't know, having the recognition somewhere else is kind of nice. Yeah.
sure,
I actually
makes
got to
complete
see
sense.
I originally got to see Serpent Skin at this right here, Brooklyn
I'll
Horror
say.
Fest. And that's also where I saw one of your collaborators, which we'll bring up later on. But the Brooklyn Horror Fest especially has just been just such a cool curated lineup of just fantastic films. And Serpent Skin, when it came out, I remember just reading the description. I was like, oh, I definitely have to see that. And it was like it lived up to the expectations and then some. But it's a beautiful film. Like it's dark and it's fucked up, but it's like it's a beautiful, beautiful film.
Oh, thank you so much. That was like a late screening, right, as well. It was like a midnight movie. Did I make that up? At
No,
Brooklyn?
it was a late night. Yeah.
Yeah.
These
Um,
these New York guys are up all the time. Like it's like there's no rhyme or reason to
Because
it.
the city
Like
won't shut the fuck
I
up.
don't
That's
even
right,
why.
go out. I just stay up.
right. Like I'll wake up and like I'm on the West Coast and I'll wake up and they'll be have like in the middle of a conversation and I'm just like I'm like just go for it.
Yeah.
I'm like how are you still awake? You know what I mean? It's 4 in the morning there. But so like yeah, midnight showing, probably not a big deal to Jonas. So
um, what I really like about your films is it feels like there's something I love about indie films that I don't get in other films, and that's the sense of welcoming the audience into the story in the movie. And I get that from a lot of like the big like your next I always say is one that made me feel like part of oh I'm part of something cool. You know, there's other directors in it. And you can tell they're having fun and they're working together in their thing. And it always feels like you've gotten together an incredible talented group and then just sort of have a great time like partying and making a movie.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Like, and it's just a different party every time, and this incredible movie comes out of it.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the vibe I get as just like imagining how you work specifically in Australia.
Yeah,
Um,
fully.
I
yeah,
also love like one thing I love about your movies is that they all do have like they're very different films, each one of them, but they all do have a style to them that is like I think it lends to it because of the no budget aspect of it, but they're very punk rock. Like all of them are very punk rock against the grain. Like they challenge you. Like they're the type of cinema that I think like I was just talking shit online about people talking about certain movies that are like indie and like grassroots and stuff like that, and I'm like that's not what that is. Like the person that made that movie had millions of dollars to throw at marketing and shit like that, and
yeah,
like no, that's not what that is. And your movies have that very like you can tell that the love in it is all over the screen. Like it's great. And Serpent Skin was like, it's one of those movies that I think the more like as this comes out wider, I think it's absolutely going to be a cult classic. Like I think it's one that people are going to talk about for quite some time.
Yeah, I hope
I
so.
think Satanic Panic is personally that's my personal favorite. I think
Satanic Panic
um,
rules.
it really it does. There's something, but what was I going to say? You don't you give the audience the benefit of the doubt, which really I appreciate and respect because like you don't spell things out, you don't ham fist it, but you hint and then it's just accepted in a lot of like especially backstory and stuff, and I love that so much because it makes you immediately feel like you're in the movie and you're drawn right in
Oh yeah.
and it really and I think this is a big part of it is and I know it's a big part of your influence is Buffy and
Yeah, 100%.
Buffy's basic like I have a steak
Oh my
with
God.
a
Oh,
spike a railroad spike handle and it says buff or it's got the B right there. I'm massive. Ryan is too. Like we live by Buffy. Like it's
Yeah,
the one of the smartest, best shows of all time, and
right.
I get that feeling,
Yep, Ryan's
especially
got
in
one too.
Satanic Panic. Like it just feels like Buffy on a road trip, kind of, and like they all have like little like Buffy elements, and you do them so well. Like you got the core of what Buffy was, and not the and there's
yeah.
even like the like homage to the actual effects and everything. It's so cool.
Oh, thank
So
you.
yeah, I appreciate that. So Buffy is obviously one of your favorites. But how did you get into Buffy? What was that?
I feel like I don't know, Buffy is kind of the media that changed like everything for me. I went to like the library a lot as a child. So I feel like I just like picked up the cover like one day and was like immediately like intrigued. And I probably like didn't start from the beginning, but immediately I kind of like fell in love and I was like, oh, I have to like consume everything. And then I was like borrowing like Buffy books from the library and reading like all the novelizations and similarly like Charmed as well. But I feel like I don't know. Because I was quite a scared child when it came to like horror. So I feel like I don't know, Buffy and like even like Angel, the sequel series, it felt like I don't know, it was scary and intriguing and like had these like creepy elements, but kind of focused on like the interpersonal relationships and also just like I don't know, it felt like a very comforting escape from reality. Like you could just like fully immerse yourself like in that world.
Yeah, it changed the way I took in entertainment. I think my friend, I didn't. I saw the first episode. My cousins had the VHS like 3 pack with the first Welcome to Hellmouth part 1 and 2, and so I watched that, and it was a little younger for me. I was in college and stuff. I was like, that looks pretty cool, but I never really returned to it. And then one of my friends in college, years into college, he was like, "Are you watching Buffy?" And I was like, "No, not really." He was like, "You have to." I was like, "All right, but I'm a completist. I gotta have to start from the beginning." He's like, "All right, but you got to catch up because it's like season 5 or something." And as soon as I got the first DVD set, I just got every single one and I waited. I pre-ordered them as they came out on DVD and stuff. Like I couldn't, and I just watched them over and over again. And that's where I learned how to binge. Before Netflix or anything, I was binging Buffy on DVDs. And it's just, so yeah, I think that's a lot of why I love and relate to your films is just that whole core. So
Yeah.
It hits that nostalgia thing. And like you've been making movies now for a little while, but like you starting that young, like how did that process even come about? Like I'm in the middle of like writing a script right now that's going to become like it actually is going to become a movie, but I can't even fathom as a teenager like just looking at me like fuck it, I'm gonna make a movie. Like I it blows my mind. How'd that go for you?
Yeah, I mean, like I'd made some short films like when I was like earlier in my teens, and I wasn't like a fan of school, so I was like always messaging like production companies and kind of being like, oh, can I like get some work experience on like a set or on like a post house? Because like I grew up in like a small town, but like we had like a really good like tax credit, so a lot of things would like shoot here. Um, so I would kind of like get exposed to like a lot of sets by just like messaging people, and then I met, you know, a lot of crew, a lot of like really cool people. And I don't know, I feel like it was right before, or maybe it was like after COVID had hit and I'd like made some short films. And I don't know, I feel like maybe it was like COVID and that kind of put things into perspective and kind of was like, oh, you don't really know how long things are gonna like, I don't know, be the way that they are. And I was like, I really wanted to make a feature film. And I think, I don't know, like that element, guess, like mixed with like being trans and I guess, I don't know, having like a weird kind of viewing and like construct of like the way time passes. I was like, I just like have to make a feature film. And so I crowdfunded the budget. And then, yeah, I just like met all these like really cool people around. And then, yeah, just we shot it in 7 days. And I don't really know how it came together. It just was like sheer willpower and like having to make something because you loved the medium so much.
Do
I
you
love
stress out during the making of films?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I feel like I've got more stress now, which like I feel like it should be like the reverse, but I feel like I don't know, I started Survivor and I was like, oh, it's gonna be made, like it has to be made. And then I feel like with each one there was like not more pressure, maybe the pressure like I was putting on myself, but I got I guess more stress with like the concepts being bigger and like casts being from different areas and it just yeah, definitely super stressed. Yeah.
I think that makes not surprising as an actor or as excuse me, as a stand-up comedian, as an artist, all of us. It never gets any easier. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I've done this way. Certain parts might get easier, but like I think specifically with the level that you're going into this with, which is high, you know what I mean, like you're doing like, you know, like very very good work, and it's, you know, you're going to be like, okay, well, you probably watch it and be like, well, I want this different, I want you know what I mean, like it's just like one of those things where
Yeah.
you're like, where you're growing this process, and yeah, it's hard. People like to think that artists are just free spirits and all this crap, and you're like, no, we're actually miserable pricks. Like we like we will stress out. Is there any like, what is like in this process of like 5 movies, what are you most like stoked about that like has come? Are you like the lighting, the like, what kind of like, you know, is grip stuff cooler, is like what has come along
What's
that you've
what's
been
the exciting part that you didn't think was going to be the exciting part?
right.
Um, I don't know. I feel like the thing that I'm really like proud of like across like the 5 movies or whatever, like is definitely like the cinematography and kind of like each film has like a slightly different aesthetic. Like the first one we kind of wanted to like emulate like Party Monster a little more than like Bad Girl Boogie. We wanted kind of like a Rob Zombie aesthetic and then Serpent Skin like more of a Buffy 90s TV kind of vibe. So just like I don't know, working with my DOP Aaron Chapin and kind of like I don't know, really honing that like cinematography with like no budget across like these different films and kind of yeah, really kind of nailing like the aesthetic that's like in my head has been something I've probably been like the most excited about. Yeah.
You know, I
I
think
love
it's when you look at certain kinds of like certain movies, I've noticed that sometimes just a shot with the right lighting, like, can make the entire scene come alive in a way that a lot of times you don't even realize. Sometimes even on like a second watch it takes, where you look at it and be like, oh shit, there's something in the background, or there's this, or there's that. Like the little details that you can hide with the lighting and with cinematography, I think is very, very cool. And that's one of the things about your movies is, again, I'll go back to this, your films look beautiful. And that's regardless of the subject matter. Like the actual, like just straight, like meat and potatoes of it, just the visual. Like it looks like a very, very pretty art piece, a very cool, like beautiful art piece, just in, you know, in cinema form. So it's not just a still frame thing. Um, you kind of do have a distinct style. And was that something that developed like early on when you were doing the movies, or was it like something that developed over time?
I think like I don't know, I think it was like always there, but I think maybe it's developed over time. It's not really like I don't know, I didn't set out to like have like a specific style. I think I don't know, it just kind of I knew what I wanted from like the script to like the post-production phase and like and I had that idea in my head and like the way I wanted things to feel and like look like and especially like I don't know, I feel like I've got more confident as a director and kind of like sticking to like the vision that I want over these last few years. So I don't know, I think it's just kind of been like a natural like evolution and kind of just something that's always been there for sure.
I love it. Um, so I do want to bring up a collaborator because I see you guys interact online too, and I think it's awesome because you're very supportive of each other, and that's Avalon Fast.
Oh yeah.
So Avalon, I saw Avalon's movie Camp when I was also, at the festival, and Camp is phenomenal, and Avalon's great, and Avalon is in Serpent Skin, one of the main characters. How did that collaboration relationship come about? Because like y'all together, oh, mwah, chef's kiss, like it's great.
Yeah, well, we'd met just like being filmmakers on like the circuit at like a screening a few years ago, and then we kind of stayed in touch. I'd always like admired their work quite a bit, and we kind of became friends. I was working on a film in Canada, with someone else's film, and then they were on that one as well, and so we just our paths like kept crossing a little bit, and then I remember I got back to Australia, and they sent a message being like, "Hey, like would love to like." Start doing acting things if there's ever like a small role I would like love to audition. And then like I don't know, I was writing the Serpent Skin at the time and I immediately thought maybe they would be like the right fit. And so like yeah, I just asked them to audition and then yeah, I was lucky enough they came out to Australia. And yeah, it was like a really beautiful collaboration because it was like their first like acting role especially like in a lead role on someone else's film. So it's kind of really special to kind of have this be their first like experience with that. And then yeah, I feel like having them be a filmmaker as well is just really cool and they brought like something different that not a lot of actors like would.
That's got to kind of be an honor to have a filmmaker be like, all right, I'm going to act, and I'm putting it in your hands. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm stepping in front of the camera
That
instead of
that
behind.
shows trust and
Yeah.
respect.
Which this is like I want to mention this now because this is the indie cinema surge that I want to see. Like just legitimately it's the exact type of direction that I want to see indie cinema go to. And, it's more marginalized voices. It's more style. It's more punk rock. It's more flying by the seat of your pants. It's more very unique personal vision. It's not just, it's not however much money you can throw at a project. It's not however viral you can make a project or whatever. Like it's very pure cinema. And like I think especially within the horror genre, like horror and thriller, that type of thing. It's not the majority at all. Like it's still if you're looking at like, out of 10 movies, maybe two of them are going to be like that as far as the indies go. A lot of times it's just, it's just I wouldn't say it's shit, but a lot of time it's just like, all right,
Boring.
yeah, it's just like, all right, well, you made a movie, but you also clearly had to pad 45 minutes of that with, nothing and stuff like that. So it's like, whereas with your movies, like every frame matters. Every single scene in the movie means something. Whether it's something that's going to come back later or whether it's something on the surface, like you're very careful with your shots, and I respect the fuck out of that as like just seeing it from the outside looking in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I think it's the curse of being an indie director or creator in horror or any medium, I guess, is also the gift. It's like the exact same thing, is that now you have to figure out how to do it without the money.
Yeah.
And and that's where the creation and the love that comes out onto the screen happens. That's where you see it. You like, I'm sure making it, you're like, fuck, I have no money to for fucking lights and shit. And then you figure it out and you can just feel like, and that's what all your movies are like. And because it doesn't feel like the budget really changes from even Sovan to Serpent Skin. they're all like sort of similar, and I'm sure if you could point out the discrepancies and stuff, and where you had more or less money. I don't know how that even went, but it doesn't. You have a style. It's not like, oh, this is an Alice Maio Mackay with money now, like, or more money or anything. It's just an Alice Maio Mackay, and I think
Yeah,
that's really a strong. It's a really you've got a really strong voice in horror right now. I think because it's incredibly unique, and it reminds me of a bunch of like just weird directors that are coming out saying fuck this, I'm gonna make
yeah,
some weird ass shit that looks and that I want to make. Like I don't know, like I love I saw the TV Glow and the other one
Fantastic movie.
that she did. Like those aren't normal movies, but those are hitting me like crazy stuff and all jacked up and stuff and movies like that. Like they're incredible and that's the indie that I've always searched for and loved.
Dude,
Um,
I saw a director. I'm not gonna name them because I don't want to be that asshole, but I saw a director on X post a screenshot that said, I was gonna go to the theater this weekend, but there's no major blockbusters. And this is a full-blown filmmaker. Like he's not, and yeah, of course it's fucking he. Like it's a dude. It's definitely a dude. Like
just
it's
spill the
fuck.
name.
No, I'm not going to. But
Ah,
it's Joseph Kahn. Anyway, so he fucking was online and he was like, he said that, and then rightfully a bunch of people were like, dude, you make fucking movies. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there's so many movies to go out and support. Like, and like they would list all these indies. And then he doubled down on it and he was like, listen, I love the indies just as much as anybody, but I love a good big block job, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, fucking like that is one of the worst things to put out as a filmmaker to be like, oh, I was gonna support theaters, but there's no fucking Marvel movie out this time, so I'm gonna, you know, you guys don't need the money. It's Marvel that needs the money. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
it's like Slipknot saying that there's no good rock music anymore. Fuck out of here.
Like,
It's
yeah, what are you doing?
everywhere.
Yeah. And
Look,
I think that's what's cool about your movies because your movies will stand the test of time. Like, yeah, people are going to talk about the Marvel movies, sure, but they're going to be like, oh yeah, the Avengers was a cool movie. But like, they're going to attach your name to your type of stuff,
the
like
smart,
because it
cool
is.
kids are going to be talking about the McKay movies in the
Mm-hmm.
future, when like barely people will remember the Avengers. They'll probably still be making them, but whatever, you know what I mean.
Fucking 85-year-old Wolverine. Um, So is there like are there any indie creators or directors like on your radar right now for people that you're really stoked on? I mean, aside from Avalon, because like I said, your thing that you have going on with Avalon's fantastic. But outside of them, is there any other ones that are on your radar?
yeah. I mean, I love Betsy Brown a lot. She was in All Jacked Up for the Worms, and
Yeah,
she has a feature out, and she's acting in a bunch. I think she's got a film that she's in Tribeca, which I'm really excited for. And she just like inspires me a lot. Yeah, there's a
she's
film called Girl.
voices. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
she's
no,
voices
yeah,
in your
yeah,
in your films, right? In a
yeah.
bunch
She's
of
in
them,
like
she's like a
Planet.
mom,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and a mom in Serpents, which is really cool having her involved in some way from afar. And then
I just saw Caviar and it blew my fucking mind.
oh yeah, I haven't
I
seen
don't.
that one.
It's her. She's the lead, and it's
Okay.
so rad. It's
Yeah, I
bonkers.
love
It's absolutely bonkers. But yeah, I loved it.
There's a film called Girl Blunt on YouTube by Clementine. That's a really like fun short film. She's got another horror film that's coming out, but I think that had like the most like logs of a short film on Letterboxd maybe like last year or something. And that's a really fun film. I think it was shot in New York as well.
What was it
Uh,
called?
called Girl Blunt.
It's by Clementine.
Yeah, I'm blanking
Okay,
on her last name, but yeah, that should it should come up if you just like write Girl Blunt movie.
sure.
Yeah, and then um
Yeah,
Avalon's got like a new
Clementine
film.
Narcisse. Sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah, no, I was gonna say Avalon's got a new film, Drinking and Driving, which I saw the premiere of it in LA actually, and it's doing the festival circuit, which I really love. a lot. Um, yeah, I'm sure there's and the Addams Family, who I use their
Always love
music
the Addams
Yes.
in
Family. Yeah.
Serpent Skin, Zelda's in Carnage. I love them so much, and they're working on a new movie, I think, which should be cool.
Yeah, we've had them on the show. I'm a giant
Oh yeah,
fan of them. Really loved the last one. I can't remember what it was called. The Witch, Mother of
Mother of
Flies.
Flies.
Mother of
Yeah.
My
Flies. Yeah.
God, that was good.
So, it's funny. I usually wait till recommendations to get those kind of things, but the reason I didn't is because you have an eye for talent, and I kind of wanted to hit that one on the nose because just based off of who you've collaborated with, based off of the people that I see you that I see you talking about, and based off of everything that I've seen, just as far as who you keep in your circle, you've got a fucking eye for some real good talent. So
You're one
like
of the
it
cool
is
kids,
laser sight.
for
Like
sure.
you've done fantastic as far as that goes. Um, so with Serpent Skin, I want to get into that one a little bit. I'm not going to go into any spoilers because it's on VOD right now. Which outside of recommendations, still go see see it as much as you can. It's fantastic. How did that idea come about? Like, was it something that was kind of spur of the moment, or was that something like you'd thought on for a while?
I think, I don't know, I feel like my other films, they're kind of more like political and like sillier and kind of, I don't know, like this new film is still like has campy moments, but I kind of wanted to do something that was like, I don't know, felt very kind of what I was like reading as a child and like watching as a child. Like supernatural romances like were really in full bloom when I was younger, like Beautiful Creatures, like Twilight, True Blood, I was like a big fan of. And I wanted to make something like through the lens of like how I felt like watching and reading those things and like how I felt like watching Buffy and things like that, but kind of taking, I guess, like the subplots and like the metaphors of like queerness and kind of making like that the text. And I kind of knew that I wanted to do that for a while, but it was just like, yeah, finding like the right project and like the right mix, and I felt like the timing was right for that film. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree
Nailed
with
it.
that.
I,
I
I
think
have one more.
2026 is a great time for that movie to come out too, especially right now with the way shit is. Like the world sucks right now, like especially on the US side of it. I don't know how it is in Australia, but on the US side of it, we have a fuck show at the top of it. So it's one of those things that when this kind of movie comes out, yeah, it does. It disrupts shit, which is what I love. It's a movie that I think a lot of people need in their life because it's the meat grinder of shitty movies and shitty filmmakers. And I don't even mean that skill wise, I mean personality wise. Like just the meat grinder of that homogenous junk that gets thrown out there. This type of thing disrupts that status quo, and I love it. I love that this is a movie that's coming out during this time. I think it's an important film for people to see, especially right now.
Thank you.
I feel like you've just said thank you a lot.
I
We've
told
just
you
been
we were
like,
going to kiss your
this
ass.
is why you're awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I have a quick one. Who's your favorite Buffy character?
Um, I think Willow. Yeah. What about
You
you?
can't argue with. Mine is it's probably Anya,
Okay.
but also Spike. Like I got the
I
Spike
love Spy.
tattoo and stuff. I love Spike. But Anya, man, just for she's just the best. I really, she's so funny. Um, Ryan, who's your favorite?
My favorite Buffy person is probably well, Anya and Spike are great choices. Um Tara, Tara is underloved because Tara is a great thing. And honestly,
Agreed.
it's like taking my daughter and like to Comic-Con and they were all there and we had gotten Willow tickets, but all my daughter and all her friends were more excited about Tara. And Amber Benson is just a really rad person and was just like but Allison Haley was really awesome too. And Jason Marsters has been really rad and everybody all the Buffy people have been actually really fantastic. But I think I might have to go Tara just simply because I think her interjection into the story is just so important and fundamentally altered the show in a way that embraced more queerness and more you know what I mean? It kind of created a sort of thing. I also like that she's a little unsung You know what I mean? Like as a character. A friend of mine has been writing the Buffy stuff in the like the comics, and
Awesome.
has given Tara a lot more world, and it's been a good thing because Tara deserved more than she got, and it's kind of like honestly like it's a really savage episode, and I love that episode just because of like the flaying, and I love the Dark Willow section, and I think it speaks to a lot of things. But I think Tara, maybe personally, I think deserved a better death and better than like kind of a little bit of like I don't know, weird misogynistic death. And now that we're kind of like looking back at Joss Whedon and how he handled situations, and
I
like
do think taking like that kind of death in the middle of all of that magic and everything made it so much harder.
yeah. And I just and if we look at like, I mean, he did a lot of weird, like, he was doing some weird things at that point, Joss Whedon, like, like the Spike and Buffy bathroom scene, the bad one,
I,
it was
Yeah.
because he was mad at James Marsters. So like he made him do that scene, and like, you know what I mean, like just like weird shit like that. And it's unfortunate because like the show at that point had left his control and was like something on its own, and he would try to interject these things. And I think Tara and Anya really should have like survived till the end, you know what I mean? Like I just think that like I think Anya's death was like unnecessary. And like I think, you know what I mean, like they could have all survived and we all would have been fine, you know what I mean. And like but so I mean, I love Anya. I think she's just like really one of the best. Can we all admit that our least favorite was Xander, though?
Yeah, no, that's
Is that okay? It is
I
funny when you
love Cordelia though too. I have
oh,
a
I
little
love
Cordelia like voodoo doll somewhere
right.
around here.
Right.
It's
Love that name.
wonderful.
Just that name is really cool.
Cordelia.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't meet a whole lot
It's
of Cordelias.
no,
You
it's
really don't.
great.
Yeah,
If I had
I'm
kids,
always
I'd
stoked on that.
name all of them Cordelia, like like George Foreman.
Right.
So you said that growing up you weren't like a horror person. You were into like the gateway horror like Buffy and stuff like that. Has that taste changed over the years? Are you into more like horror now?
I don't think so. I'm kind of always like into like horror adjacent things. I love like Rob Zombie is probably like my big like horror person in terms of like what I'll sit through in terms of like gore and like just gross out kind of shit. But I mean like I try and stay on top of like horror films, and I love like the horror community, and I watch a lot of stuff on Shudder and things like that, but I'm not gonna like watch like a torture porn
For
movie or
sure,
anything
yeah.
like that.
I watch extreme horror all the time, and unfortunately, torture porn is something that comes out in those a lot, where it's like, tends to be a central narrative on a lot of those. But I think with with extreme horror a lot too, it's better when the extreme horror has a message behind it, because then you can sit through the torturous stuff and be like, okay, well now it's a means to an end, like that type of thing,
Yeah.
as opposed to being a movie that's just fucking bleak, where at the end of it, it's just like, all right, well I was just tortured, like I
I'm
was.
I'm more into Slaughterhouse. Have you all seen Slaughterhouse?
Slaughterhouse fucking rules.
Slaughterhouse.
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 Yeah.
Alice, have you seen Slaughterhouse?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you got to see
It's
It's
Slaughterhouse.
actually
pretty
great.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
about it's about a killer sloth in a sorority house.
Okay.
It is really worth
And her name is Alpha, I believe. It's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
wonderful.
it's a
That's
wonderful,
all.
it's
And
hilarious.
that kind of like joke, like the stunt joke where it's like, killer sloth, like usually runs out of steam in the first 20 minutes. And then it's just a slog to get to the, whatever end. But Slaughterhouse holds true like the whole time. It's fun as hell.
Oh, yeah.
There's
It's such a
also
weird one.
the one that always comes to my head for that kind of stuff is the movie Rubber. Have you seen
Yeah,
that one?
yeah, yeah.
No.
Rubber is literally a movie about a sentient tire that rolls around blowing people's heads up.
Oh
Why?
wow.
Because he's a dick. That's why. Like it's just an asshole of a tire,
Right.
and it just runs around, just rolls around, blowing people's heads off. And it's one of those also kind of like ongoing jokes where by halfway through the movie you would think it would get old. Nope, nope. He never blows up the heads of like good people. It's always the shitty people that are like, bullying somebody or hitting somebody or doing something like, some
Good,
douchebag behavior. Then the
good.
tire just rolls up. Well, you don't get to have a head anymore. Like it's just,
Does he
it's
talk,
great.
or is it like a silent kind of
No, it's
killer?
just a
It's
silent
just a
tire.
tire.
The tire just rolls into the scene and everybody's like, what the fuck is this tire doing here? And then pop. And then they're just like, oh, cool. Well, Jerry's gone. Like, it's fun. It's fun stuff.
It is. Um, should we hit
Well,
the kill list?
let's
Or
do it.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
down
th
with kills.
I should probably bring this up off air, but I'm thinking we should change it to the Dawn of the Dead memorial
Oh, I'm down with that.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, Dawn of the Dead was a fellow podcaster that we loved, and she recently passed. So I'm going to talk to her husband, but I think that'd be fun.
She was on the same podcast network as us too, and she had a fantastic show. It was a great show. So
It was the only one person podcast that I liked.
All right.
All right. First question: Chucky or Pinhead?
Chucky, 100%.
yeah.
I love that.
And also,
Not enough people pick Chucky.
you can interpret these either ors however you want. Like,
Yeah.
it's whatever you comes to your mind as soon as you hear it. Chucky fucking rules though. Man, Chucky really does
And
rule.
there's another movie coming out. I'm very happy.
Yeah, me too.
What movie would you remake?
Could be anything. Doesn't have to be horror.
Maybe like the Munsters. I know they just like had a remake, but I never get tired of like seeing the Munsters on screen.
Yeah, I want to see your monsters
I
way
wanna see
more
your
than
Munsters.
the one that came out. Like,
The
monsters do rule though.
If you could erase one movie from existence, what would it be?
Terrifier 3.
Oh, that is it.
We knew we loved you for a reason.
Yeah, that was. What about Terrifier 3 did you was it?
I enjoyed Terrifier 2, but then me and my friend for the third one, they did like a marathon screening of all the movies. And I don't know, I feel like that's like a bad idea, but like just by the end of it, like watching the third one, I just like felt so sick and like disgusted. And I don't know if it's the movie or if it's like watching all three back to back in the cinema, but I was like, I don't know. It just felt so gross and I was like, it's weird. And then like the director had those like weird Twitter statements and I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's why
If
we
that's
were
like
pretty much like, nah, fuck them.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if that's your opinion and like that's the film like you're making with just like a bunch of like kids like I don't know blowing up whatever the fuck happened, I'm like I don't know like
No.
Yeah. We were
Even
pretty
if
vocal. We were pretty vocal about that shit when it came out too, because I was gonna say, you know what? David Howard Thornton, he rules. Lauren Lavera
yeah.
rules. Elliot Fulham fucking rules. The people that made that movie fucking entirely off. Like it's just doing that whole horror is not political bullshit and then like doubling down on it and everything.
horror
It's
is
just like,
political
dude,
from step one. End of
yeah,
discussion.
from
Like,
just the way that it's made, like from
just
the
its
inception of horror.
existence.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
we did an entire episode that was basically fuck Damien Leone. So it was that was a great answer.
Yeah, we love that. All right. Alien or Aliens?
Aliens, I think.
Nice.
All right. I like
Very
that.
nice. Ryan will like that one.
Ryan's
I
an
love that.
Aliens guy.
I'm an Aliens guy.
Basement or attic?
I think attic.
Now, do you escape to the attic or are you more afraid of the attic?
I think I'm less afraid of the attic. I think I'm like more afraid of like the basement because I don't know. I feel like not much can like get up to like the attic, but like the basement is like surrounded by like I don't know, like it's in the ground. Like anything can kind of like be down there. I don't know. I feel like
That's
it's more
true.
sinister.
I like
Anything
that.
can go down the stairs, but there's a very large amount of things that if they do go up the stairs, that's a real bad fucking day. But
And
like
like you would
anything,
notice things. You know what I mean? Like you
yeah,
notice things like going upstairs, where it's like downstairs. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
No, I agree. I agree.
I've
I
always
think
been like that. The attic is full of Christmas lights, and the basement is full of like mold and demons. Like
Yeah.
I said,
All
yeah,
good.
you go to the basement for horror and you go to the attic for adventure, where you can find a treasure map. and go with your friends.
There's plenty of horror in Addict Spring. Like
I know cult
there's
stuff is there all the time. I love it, actually.
well, and also like, but like toys in the attic. I mean, like there's
Sure, I
terrifying
know.
addicts.
Hereditary is still probably one of the
There's
scariest attic scenes, just because she's sawing her own fucking
yeah,
head off. Where it's just like,
addicts
all
are
right,
rough.
yeah, yeah.
All right, last one. Favorite kill of all time.
Oh wow. Um, I don't know. That's such a tough question. I feel like maybe something like Joe Vegas's like VFW. I don't know specifically, but
Mm.
I don't know. I remember that film having some really like sick like practical gore
Yeah,
deaths and like a lot of deaths as well. Like maybe like the chainsaw scene when like they're at the door and there's like mowing them down or something.
that's
Maybe.
a great pick, actually,
Sure.
because yeah, that movie's filled with them.
I have that one on Blu-ray. That's definitely one of my favorites. And also, like, it was a movie that came out that I don't think a lot of people immediately thought was going to be very good, just because it was a lot of like, much older like action stars and stuff like that. But then you also had like Stephen Lang and stuff like that. But the way that it was made, it fucking rules. Such a good
Yeah.
movie. It's very fun.
All right, you crushed it, Alice. Just
Yeah.
100%.
Now I do want to ask you something that used to be a question because I'm actually
Oh,
curious
okay.
what your thought is on this. Midsommar or Hereditary?
Um, I feel like maybe I would like watch Hereditary more because I don't know, I enjoy watching it more, but I think maybe Midsummer I prefer in like the grand scheme of things.
Nice.
I couldn't agree with that answer anymore. Like, I think like so I've always picked Hereditary just simply on watchability. I think Midsommar is like the better maybe like overall feat of filmmaking. You know what I mean? Like daytime, like bright daytime, like horror and throwing old people off of cliffs. But it's
That's Ryan's favorite part.
yeah,
Good
but
party.
it's a good party. I'm just saying, I would go to way more. I would probably be way
He'd
more
be in a
so.
cult.
I would be way
He'd be
more
in that
social.
cult.
I'd be in that cult. I'd be like, dude, kicking old people off of like, but
Plus, we're
I feel
sober, so it'd be like, fuck tapping the keg, tap that guy. Like, throw
yeah.
him off. Like,
Or finishing dude at the bottom, like that's a great job. I wonder if how
hmm
like do you have to like work up to that? I don't know how that works there. But it's but like I couldn't agree with that more. Like Hereditary is just like, but Hereditary is just a badass film. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, but it's also like not 9 hours. Like so like you can just like throw it on and not have to like like turn your phone off and like schedule a day off of work
Shut up.
I
and
think all of us had a blackout moment when her fucking head hits the pole. I think
I
all
did.
of us
I
kind of.
told you I don't remember seeing the movie the first time after that moment. I had to go back like months later and watch it again
I
because
saw
I
it in
was
Alamo. I
shook.
saw it in Alamo Draft House, which is notorious about telling people they can't be loud in the movie theater. And then when that happened, everybody went dead silent except for one dude that goes, "What the fuck?" That's all he said. And then like everybody else was kind of just like, "Oh no!" Like, what did we do?
That's so rad.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
Serpent Skin is out on VOD right now. Do you know if it's going to be doing any kind of like a limited theater run or anything, or did it already do that?
It already had a limited theater run. I think it's gonna be back for like one night at the Night House pro in the one in Prospect.
Oh, Nighthawk.
Nighthawk?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
The
on like in
Prospect Park
June.
Nighthawk? Nighthawk?
I'm pretty
That's
sure
right.
next month.
That's
Yeah,
That's right by Graham.
it's real close to me.
Yeah.
I'll say.
No, it's
Uh,
definitely one to see in the theater, and that was the reason I
yeah.
asked because I think a lot of people like it's going to be great video on demand for sure, but like it's definitely a movie also that does lend itself really well to a theater experience because it's like again, I go back to the way that the movie looks. Like the actual visual representation of the film on a big screen is fantastic. Like so I definitely hope people flood the cinemas for that one because that's great.
Yeah.
You want to do some recommendations, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want me to start? Do you want to start? What do you guys
I'll
want to do?
start. I watched Solvent on Shudder by Johann Grenzfurthner. It
That
was
was a
the
good
best.
attempt. I don't
Thanks,
know
I
if it was
tried.
even
I
right.
don't know
Like,
either, but it was the best found footage I've seen in a long time. It went from like this class. It's about a team that goes to Austria to look in this old Austrian farmhouse for Nazi documents, and it starts out sort of like your classic found footage, like going to another country. Oops, sorry, being in another country and trying to find weird shit, and then it turns into and it's really funny and really smart about like the way it approaches racism and shows it like through culture and the fucking Nazis and like familial and like subtle and undercurrent and just cultural. It's really smart about it and it's really funny. And then all of a sudden it's like a found footage noir and you're like, this is fucking cool as hell. And then it becomes this like acid and coke skinamarink towards the end, which and it's fucking insane. And it was a found footage. I loved it so much. It's on Shutter. It's in their like top 10 right now. I think it came out a couple years ago, but I think this is sort of like it's big streaming here in the US. Raz, shit, Razanest was the other movie this dude did,
oh yeah, yeah.
which I really love too. Anyway, that rules. Watch Solvent. Read Frog and Toad, the book series by Arnold LaBelle, because that shit rules. I don't know if you guys ever read it when you were younger. You know Frog and Toad, Ryan.
Yep,
I do.
Yeah, so
I
like
do.
that dude was telling like gay as hell stories to kids for like half a century, and it's so cool. I love that shit, and I've been reading it to the kids a bunch. Like I take care of kids. Um, Alice, if you were wondering, not my kids. um, and yeah, it's just such good storytelling and simple, and teaches such wonderful like life stories and just stuff you should know. It's really wonderful. But even now, adults should read that shit. For music, I'm going with Bird Cop again. That new Bird Cop album is the fucking best thing. Jonas, what do you think Bird Cop sounds like?
It's hard to explain.
That's loud punk rock, I think. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
They're
it's
mad at
definitely
everybody.
it's definitely punk, but like I'm not a genre guy, and but
I don't know either. But it
it's
used to
definitely
be a
punk.
pop punk
I would
band.
say
It's
that
weird.
it's definitely punk.
5 years ago, they were a pop punk band. I just found out, and this album is not pop punk. It's fucking vicious. If you want even more fucking heavy and brutal, Wounded Touches, They Promise Eden, Volume One. It's 3 songs, like 9 minutes. If you want to check out this fucking dope hardcore metal band, Wounded Touch, they actually just played. We're playing. Fuck. They
That's
just
not
played
what
with Boar.
that's not what they were playing.
They just played with Boar, and I missed it here in Brooklyn. So fuck. But listen to Wounded Touch, and then for my last one, I'm going to Australia for one of my favorite, probably my favorite Australian band of all time. AC. No, I'm kidding. Violent Soho. Violent Soho. You should just listen to Violent Soho. Uh, I love that band so much. They're from Australia. So in honor of Alice. Alice, have you ever heard Violent Soho?
I don't think so, no.
They're very grungy, and they came out in like 2010 maybe, or actually maybe later than that. But you should check them out. They're absolutely wonderful. If you like grunge at all, they've got sort of like that
Yeah.
Nirvana grungy thing going. Very good, very good. That's it for me.
I got some for you. In theaters, definitely go see Obsession. It lived up to the hype. Um, and also Bear's the fucking villain. Quit saying that Bear's not the villain. That's it's weird that that's even a debate, but he's the fucking villain. So, but it's a good movie. It's a, like it. I was shocked. It was hyped through the fucking moon, and I was shocked that it actually lived up to it. So it's solid. It's good stuff. Um, on streaming, Screambox had one that just dropped today, actually. I got to see it a little while ago. But it's called Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round, and it's for lack of a better term, it's a Mr. Rogers movie, but it's a psychological horror. So like it's about a guy who was a former child's TV show host who has amnesia and he doesn't remember how he became that or anything, and his memories get lost. So in the actual world of the children's show, he returns to it, and the world that he left, that he has now returned to, has become much more sinister. So it looks like a Mr. Rogers episode for most of the movie, but it feels like an almost demonic film. So, but it's also filmed really, really cool. Like the lighting and everything about it looks really cool.
I don't know
From
why when you were talking about that, I accidentally thought you said Roger Rabbit.
No, definitely not Roger Rabbit.
I
There was
was
another.
imagining something way different.
It's not at all what I thought it was. But there was another movie that came out a couple of years ago that was a similar type of concept called Mr. Crockett.
Oh yeah,
That was
super
a
great.
yeah, and it's a great movie. This is a completely different thing. For anybody that's a wrestling fan, it's kind of like the Firefly Funhouse from Bray Wyatt, if
I
you were to
got you
turn that
there.
into a movie. It fucking rules. It's really, really cool. Screambox has been doing some really good stuff.
Didn't they just get the Satan's Slay? Not that. What's it called?
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, didn't that
Yeah, yeah,
that just came up there too?
yeah.
I got to see that.
Which was
The new
legitimately a
one?
good remake.
Oh yeah, I
What's
love
up?
that new one. The new one I love so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm really excited to see it.
It was shockingly good. Like it was, I didn't know what I was going to go into necessarily, but if you're going to remake a movie like that, there's so many directions they could have went, and I think they did really
Anything
good.
really,
Yeah,
any plot, anything could help out the original, both the originals.
yeah. It made me a super fan of Ruby Modine. She's
Oh yeah.
fantastic. Like she's always been good, but like in that movie, she absolutely fucking rules.
I'm
Um,
excited.
s- so for physical media, I have a couple of Australian ones here, and then a couple that are not Australian. The first one, Snowtown, which
Mm, yeah,
is brutal as fuck, but it's also
yeah.
very well done. It's continues to be one of my favorite extreme horror films that's like extreme in subject and somewhat extreme on screen, but not like full blown full blown
It's not a fun
exploitation.
one. It's
No, it's definitely
good.
not fun. By the end of the movie, you're fucking bummed out. But like it's definitely not a happy go-go one. Also friend of the show, Sam Curtin,
Yes, I love that fucking movie so
beaten to
much.
death. That movie is about somebody getting beaten to death. So that one's right on the nose, but it is very good. If you like brutality but not torture porn, Alice, Beaten to Death is solid
It's a
because
beautiful movie because it's just the cinematography goes from uh, a dude brutally getting beat up till he dies, but then like just the Australian outback and like these wonderful shots, and it's so cool. This
Ta-
dude gets
ta-
blinded like right away.
it's Tasmania, to you know what I mean, which is really beautiful. You know what I mean.
hmm
So have you
it's
have you ever been to Tasmania, Alice?
Yeah, I have. I love it there.
Yeah, cool.
one of my favorite musicians is actually from Tasmania. Tosh Sultana
Oh,
was
cool.
originally from Tasmania. The other two that I have, this one is one that I just don't think gets enough love, and I rewatched it recently, and I really really love it. Bones and All,
Bones and
which
all is great.
yeah, I think a lot of people just kind of slept on it because it was kind of a major release, quote unquote horror. But it's the layers in the movie is awesome because it is a horror movie, but it's also like a cannibal romance and like it's a fucked movie, but in the best way. Like it definitely makes you think, and it's very very solid. And this one I've recommended a lot on the show, and I'm gonna recommend it again because more fucking people need to see it. And also it's on physical media, but it's also on Tubi, and that is The People's Joker.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Okay, The People's Joker I've been talking about on the podcast for at least the best part of a year, you know?
Yeah.
And I ask people often if they've ever heard of this movie or seen it, and they haven't. And I'm like, I want so many more people to see it. It's such a fun movie. And it's also the epitome of what I like about indie cinema. Like I was talking about before, it's taking something that is very cherished by a lot of people and honestly by a lot, so quite a few shitty people too. But it takes that, it throws it on its head, it makes it completely unique. It satirizes it. It's the look of it is cool. The subject, the cast, just everything that is done with it. It's a fantastic movie. So I definitely recommend that. And music, Delilah Bond's newest track just dropped. Fucking love Delilah Bond. It dropped actually this last Thursday, I think. And listen to all of Delilah Bond's music. All of it rules. Ryan,
Ryan,
what do you have?
Don't watch the roast of Kevin Hart. I didn't watch it. Quit watching that shit. Watch anything by Bailey Pope. Watch her special, aka watch Ben Roy's Hyena. It's on Hulu. Watch anything by Kyle Kinane, anything by Eddie Pepitone, anything by Roy Rogers Jr., anything by Maria Bamford. Quit shitting in your brain by watching fucking corporate bullshit, fucking crap. Anyways, Alice, what do you got?
I got a screen into Larry Fessenden's new movie. I'm blanking on the title, but it's like a
is it
mashup of
about
like all his
all his
monster movies.
creatures?
Yeah, all
Yes.
his creatures. And I love that so much. He's like one of my
I'm
favorite
so
filmmakers.
fucking excited. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love,
it's so
oh,
fucking good.
awesome.
Um, yeah, that's probably like the best thing I've seen recently. And then I guess in terms of music, I've been listening to like a lot of Parkway Drive. They're like an Australian
Oh
metal
yeah.
band I really
Lino
love.
Park, yeah.
And then Black Veil Brides had a new album, which I really love. Not to be like too emo teeny, but I love them a lot. And then
We have love for the emo
Yeah.
teen stuff here. Yeah.
and then I read Mr. Know-It-All by John Waters. I just finished that yesterday, which is really fun. It's a light
Yeah,
Heck
read.
yeah.
awesome.
Is it called Calling All Monsters?
I think it's Trauma or Monsters or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so excited about
There was
that.
a
it's so
there was a
good.
movie that came out pretty recently. I don't know if you got to see it, Alice. It's called Bloodshine.
I didn't see it now.
Okay, so I think it's coming out like on I think it just got picked up by Dark Sky Films.
Oh,
And
cool.
I want to say it's coming out maybe this summer, but I didn't know if you'd been able to see it in Australia or at festivals and stuff. But it also has Larry Fessenden in it, and he's great. He's a maniacal like cult leader preacher, and he fucking does it fantastic. I mean, he always does good shit, but yeah, it's a very, very cool movie, and it's one of those movies that's like takes a trope that's very worn out. Like, oh yeah, a writer goes out to the woods to be alone and write a thing, and then weird shit happens. And this one is just happens to be done very well. The reason I brought it up is not only because of what you said, but also it was at the festival too. And I think I actually saw that one right before I saw Serpent Skin. So it's
Awesome.
very, very cool. I think it should be coming out pretty soon.
Did I tell you guys I just saw Beneath for the first time? Do you know
No.
what Beneath is?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. It's a Larry Fessenden movie about a prehistoric fish in a lake. A bunch of kids go on a boat into the lake and they just get eaten. But it's not really about that. Like, I'm watching this and it's just a bunch of shitty friends. I think it was six of them. And they're just shitty friends to each other. And they go out on a boat and they told the old dude, oh, we're not going to get in the water, but they get in the water. And a fish eats them and stuff. But it's about like how shitty they are to each other and how what a terrible friend group they are. And I could not figure out why I loved it because it's like a fish eating dumb people that I don't like, but I was like enthralled. And then
Cough,
at the end,
Jaws, cough.
no, and then at the end, it says Larry Fessenden written, directed, and I was like, "Fuck!" I had no idea he even made this.
That's the reason. Yeah.
It was great. Anyway, sorry.
Did you ever see Larry's Frankenstein movie?
Yeah,
Depraved? Yeah.
I got
Um,
the SFX guys to sign my copy actually
nice.
because Larry wasn't there.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite. He's like the godfather of indie cinema at this point. He's a fantastic dude. So I want to get your opinion real quick before we close this out, because again, because of the relationship between you two, but also because I know that you've been a cheerleader for the movie. What did you feel about Camp from Avalon?
I loved it so much. It's so like lyrical and like so singular. And then like bringing in like that animation, it just like brings it to like this whole other world, and just like the imagery and like how it brings like the themes to like an even deeper like meaning is just so beautiful. And it's just like a film. I feel like you really need to see it on like the big screen. Like obviously if you can't like still watch it, but just like getting to see like those images like on the biggest screen possible, and like the interweaving with the animated stuff is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that. I've heard a lot of good.
Yeah, I cannot wait for you guys to be able to see it because I think it's going to be one of those that you guys are going to love too. But like also somebody that was going to be on the show tonight, but she couldn't come on because she is feeling under the weather. But it is a filmmaker and horror journalist, Mary Beth McAndrews, and she, when I talked to her about that movie about camp when I saw it at the festival, she basically said this spoke directly to my emo witchy heart, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then I watched it and I was like, I fucking now I totally get it. Like it's great. And I could not be happier, like both as a cinema fan and also just as a fan of y'all as people. I could not be happier that you guys are collaborating and with the stuff that you guys are, because I cannot wait to see what indie cinema does moving forward because I love the direction it's going. And like you and Avalon are both just some of the best voices within that. So I'm super looking forward to it.
And please come back on for
Yeah,
your
we'd love
next
to.
movie,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
will what be in like 2 months at your rate. No, I'm just
The,
kidding. But yeah, no, thank you so much. This was such an honor. I think I had you in my list of dream guests that I started the year at the beginning of the year. So this was
he did. We
I
make a
did.
list. We do. We make a list of like the guests that we like. We know like people that we know personally and stuff like that. But then we have like the top list of the
Yeah, the
the thing,
dream
and you were
guests.
you were fucking right up there. So
Oh, wow. Thank you.
um couldn't appreciate it more. I was gonna say this. With Serpent Skin, is it on? It's just on video on demand. It's not like on any actual streamers, right?
Yeah, not yet. It's just on VOD for the moment, but it'll get to like streamers in the next few months, like second half,
Gotcha.
middle of
Okay.
the year.
And
Cool.
do you know if they're going to be doing a physical media release of it?
Yeah, there's gonna be a Blu-ray, I think, around the middle of the year as well. So
Oh
Sweet.
yeah.
I will be pre-ordering that one for sure because I definitely want to have it.
thank
Well,
you.
And gr
before we move on, I just want to remind our audience that we do have a Patreon, and it is you can join it and become part of the army of the goddamned, just like our pals Michael, Drew, Stephanie, Katie, Chris, Alan, Angela, Jasmine, Jason, Jake, Vivian, Ron, Kristen, Manny, Coleman, Jared, Michelle, and Brandon. Thank you all so much. Tell your friends. It's easy. It's like $1. It's a 20 if you want to
I
give
mean,
us
yeah, I
20.
was gonna
That's
say you could
fine.
also give us 20 if you want to be
Yeah,
$20 a month.
if
Cool,
you're
but like
feeling, I'll send you some cool stuff. Just
I also do love the Army of the Goddamned is at a level right now where Graham can say all the names, and it's not like one of those things where it's just like, oh, the fucking episode's been going on for 2 days. Like there's so many names. No, he's just like he can pump them out right now. I like that it's a good comfortable place right now.
yeah. I don't
I
know
want
if
to
He
thank
we
normally
can
everybody.
is more.
I
go
want to
ahead.
thank everybody around the world for their listening. Right now, I'm going into let's see. So I used to just list off all of the countries. Let's see.
Every
Australia right
country.
now is fourth. Um, Bangladesh, Belgium, and the Republic of Lithuania. I'm going to give a big shout out to. Belgium is wild to me,
Didn't
and
Belgium just win Eurovision?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I think they did.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're even talking about. But Brussels capital is showing up hard. So thank you all so much for listening. Big shout out to Lithuania. Wow, I have no
I feel
idea.
like that's a new one.
That is a new one. Like there's some other ones about New Zealand's still in there, but they've fallen off, and all these
Alice,
other.
Alice, did you know that somebody in the Turks and Caicos Islands is going to hear this episode? Because we
That's
have
great.
we have Turks and Caicos Islands listeners that,
Yeah.
and that's still every time we look at the stats and we see Turks and Caicos Islands, we're like, who are you? Please reach out. Like,
And yeah, we thank everybody else. The world is dark right now. Big shout out to go watch Alice's movies. They're dope, and it's really what we are in this for is movies like this. Go to Shudder, watch them, and support. Leave good reviews. Go out there and be the voice of goodness. And thank everybody for sticking around with us every week and listening. We've had great listenership. Thank you so much. World is really hard right now. I know it as much as anybody currently, even. So please, if you are in trouble, reach out, stick around. Microdose mushrooms. No, I didn't say that. Meant it.
But you could totally do that.
And take care of yourself, please, because we all need to do this together. Horror fans need to be we need to take over this world and from the other people. I'm guessing Trump, not a horror fan.
No.
So
He watches horror every morning when he wakes up and looks in the mirror. So
well,
You can do better
thank you
than
all.
that.
Take care of yourself until we see you again. Start some fires and break some glass. Thank you.
okay.